Hi, this is Letty. I want to show you what it looks like to listen to a brief and to draw a sketch of the database that you're creating. The first thing you're going to do when you design a database is get away from the computer and sit down with a piece of paper and a pen or pencil and really think about what you heard in the brief. Let me give you a brief right now, and then we'll talk about how to translate that into a written design. So if I told you I'm a loan company, and what we do is we employ some loan officers to work with customers who come in and want to take out loans. Let me say that again. I'm a loan company owner, and we employ loan officers to work with our customers who come in and take out loans. So I heard three distinct topics. I hope you did too. Let me draw a rectangle for each topic I heard. And I heard, I'm going to just put a text box above each one to say what I heard. I heard loan officers. I also heard customers coming in to take loans. And I also heard customers. Did you hear these three topics? Yeah. So in a brief, when somebody says to you, I have customers, be careful to use the word that they use. If they use the word customers, don't change it to clients. Stick with customers. If they use the word sales, you use sales too. Don't use invoices or something that you think is similar. Use the words they use. That is almost always going to help you to get the correct database at the end. Okay, so three topics, three tables, and these are symbolically my tables. I think I'm going to empty this shape to make it a little bit easier, and I'll do that with all three of these. Now, I have tables, and I know that they probably have a relationship to each other. So here I am sketching my tables, and if the brief went on to say, what I'm going to need to do is to print out a list of my loan officers and the customers that are assigned to them, well, then I would know I need a report that involves these two tables, and that means there's probably a relationship between them. So here's my trick. I want you to draw a line between two tables that you think are related. And notice that I'm not making this line connected to anything inside the table. I just want to draw it there. And whoops, moved my table. And I'm not trying to decide anything else about it yet, except that I think these two tables are related. The other thing is I know that customers take out loans, so I know that those two tables are probably related too. So if I know that customers and loans are related to each other and loan officers and customers are working with each other, I know that there should be lines between these two tables. Those lines are joins. The next thing I have to do is I have to decide what is the relationship between these two tables. Now, it's about saying the relationship backward and forward, and I have a patented method for doing it. So my trick is to try out, you know that you could have a 1 on this end or a 1 on this end, and a many sign on this end or a many sign on this end. Almost all of our relationships are going to be one to many. So we don't know if this is the one side or if this is the one side, but we need to try them both out. So we're going to say 1. So sorry, I kind of had to pause for a second there to draw in the symbols. So I want you to say the symbol first, then the name of the table. So one loan could have many customers. That doesn't sound right. Let's reverse it. Let's try it out with a 1 on this end and the many sign on this end. One customer could have many loans. Okay, that sounds correct, doesn't it? Let's try to figure out this relationship here. I'm going to copy the many sign over here and copy the 1 sign, and let's try saying this relationship backward and forward. Many loan officers will have 1 customer assigned to them. That doesn't sound right. 1 customer will be assigned to many loan officers. No, it just doesn't sound good that way. Okay, let's move the one sign to the other side, and let's say it backward and forward. One loan officer will have many customers assigned to them. Yes, that sounds right. Many customers will be assigned to the same one loan officer. Yes, that also sounds right. So saying it backward and forward is good. Let's say this one backward and forward again one more time. One customer will have many loans. Many loans can be taken out by one customer. And then let's do this one. One loan officer could have many customers they're working with, and many customers could work with one loan officer. Okay, so now we have the blueprint for our design. We know what tables we're going to have, and we know what relationship are going to be between those tables. Well, the next step is really easy. Every single table gets its own primary key, and it's pretty much name of the table ID. So loans will have a primary key field called loan ID. Loan officers will have a primary key field called loan officer ID, and customers get a primary key called customer ID. They'll be the first field that you create in these tables. There'll be lots of other fields in these tables too. We'll need to know when was the loan taken out, how much was it for, and lots of things like that. But when you're designing your sketch like this, the only things you need to fill in are two types of fields, your primary keys and your foreign keys. So we've got the primary keys in. Now we need to figure out the foreign keys for the relationships. And remember the little sing-song I had you do right in the beginning of class? Where you see a many sign, you need a foreign key. Well, that's when you need this information, is when you're at this stage of the game. Here's a many sign. That means I need a foreign key in this table that's going to take its name from the one side, the primary key side, and it's going to have the same or compatible data type. So if my customer ID field is text, I'm going to have one over in here that says customer ID, and it's going to be text. Let me put that in right now. I can't say what data type it'll have, but I can put in the customer ID field. Okay, do you see another mini sign on the plan? Yes, we do, right down here. Again, when you see a mini sign, you need a foreign key, and the foreign key looks to the primary key field in the other table, and it takes its name from that. So this table is going to have one called Loan Officer ID, and it's going to get connected to this primary key. This primary key is going to get connected to a foreign key here, and this primary key is going to get connected to a foreign key here. And that is the design for the database. Okay, the next step will be to actually build it.